Hey guys, West Coast Taco here, and welcome to the channel. Thanks for checking this out and for tuning in. Today's the day, guys. I'm gonna get this TRD off-road 4x4 double cab lawn bed tuned with the Overland Torque Tune, and I'm excited to see how this goes. It's been a long time coming, so excited to see what shakes out and how everything kind of comes together here. A few reasons I went with the Overland Torque Tune instead of like the KD Max or the Orange Virus. Honestly, I've heard so many good things about the Overland Torque Tune. Also, the way they kind of designed this tune, the way they really just tested it with the dyno. Just a lot of things in general I've heard really good feedback on, and it just kind of sold me on it. So I'm meeting up with QOC. I think people call him Q for short. He seems to be the local guy around these parts here in Southern California to specialize in these tunes. And so I'm going to meet up with him and a bunch of other Tacoma owners at this taco meet and, you know, get this taco tuned up. So I'm going to meet up with him. I'm going to ask him a bunch of questions I think you'll probably have questions about. And then hopefully the answers I bring will help with some of the questions that myself and you have before this is done, and looking forward to seeing the difference. What I'll do for right now is as we're cruising to the site where we're going to be meeting, I'll let you just kind of watch the truck, listen to the truck shift. One of the greatest problems with these trucks for you guys that don't have a Tacoma yet and you're curious as to why Tacoma owners get their trucks tuned, it's mainly due to the fact that, you know, these trucks, they have a funky transmission in regards to the way they shift. They seem to gear hunt a lot. And essentially, from what I've read and understand, these trucks, when they were designed, they were being set up so that they could compete with Ford and other GM mid-size pickups in regards to like the emissions and the fuel efficiency. So what the truck tries to do is the truck tries to upshift as quick as possible in order to get you the best amount of gas mileage with the emissions. And it's really annoying more than anything else. You really have to kind of give it some juice to get the truck to really drive good. And that's kind of obnoxious because if you're like in, you know, medium to slow traffic, you just can't punch it right off the line every time. And so with this tune, I'm really hoping that will eliminate, you know, it continuously being in a very low RPM when you're kind of like cruising at slower speeds. And then if you hit like a kind of like a slight incline, it starts to gear hunt and starts shifting lower and then higher and then lower and then higher again. It's just a really obnoxious thing a lot of Tacoma owners have to go through. Now, maybe you're on the other spectrum of things and you love the way your Tacoma drives and you have no issues with it. And if that's the case, then yeah, then don't get it tuned. But, you know, when I first got this truck, I thought to myself, what's the tune for? I'm not going to need a tune. That sounds silly. Well, after owning it for a few months and getting used to the truck and kind of getting to know it better and understanding the quirks and the weird things that it does, you know, I'm trying to make it better what needs to be better and then just leave alone what's already good. So I would say the way the truck shifts, the way the transmission is tuned with the engine and the way everything works right now, it's definitely not optimal. And I think the frustrating about it for me, guys, and probably a lot of you as well, is, you know, we spend a lot of money on these trucks right out of the gate, and still, even in these later models, you know, Toyota still never even worked out the gear hunting issues and the lag from the throttle and, you know, just the way the truck drives. You know, I wish, you know, for example, my other Toyota, which is a Camry, you know, it's an older Camry. It's not like a new one, but I've got almost 200,000 miles in that car, and that thing shifts way better than this truck, and it's a V6 as well. And, you know, I think when Toyota went to these 6-speed automatic transmissions, you know, they left a lot on the table still in regards to what they could have done better in the way they tuned them and the way they set it up for the truck. So from what I've heard, from what I've read, from what I've seen, from, you know, other YouTube videos and people that have kind of given their testimonials about the before and after of this tune, everybody's given thumbs up and has had good feedback. And so I'm hoping I can add to that list of people and just kind of help solidify, for those of you still on the fence, on the process and what I really think about it, the before and after. And so I'm excited to do that. It's going to be a good time. And then I'll be putting out another video here soon regarding the transmission. I've mentioned that, I think, in the last couple of videos, that I'm working on a video for the transmission as well. Was working through a torque converter shutter issue, and I've got some really good info and information that you guys are going to want to check out and kind of see. And looking forward to getting that there for you guys too, and just trying to help. So we'll see what happens. So trying to give you guys a better idea of these, you know, this gear hunting issue. Get you guys a decent view of the engine here. You might be able to kind of hear the shifting as well. So we're coming to almost a complete stop up here. This will probably be a really good example as to what the truck does. So right now we're in stop and go traffic on the 5 going north. As you can see, giving it some gas. Let's try to merge over here. Kind of see some of the shifting. You can probably hear a little bit. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. Like right now, it's gear hunting a lot. And this is exactly what I was talking about, like in this slow, you know, stop and go kind of traffic. It's not like we're, you know, crawling, but it's like you just really can't give it a whole lot of gas without potentially getting in an accident or having to slam on your brakes. And, you know, I've driven a lot of vehicles, you know, over the course of my life. I've probably driven, I mean, maybe my lot is not a lot compared to maybe some of you that like work at a car dealership or, you know, are much older than I am. But I've probably driven close to, I don't know, 40 to 50 different vehicles in my lifespan so far. And I've never driven a vehicle that has a transmission that shifts like this one does. And I am generally not a super picky guy. Like, I understand each car drives a certain way. And that's just kind of how it goes. But, this one I just can't get used to. point blank. I can't. It just does not feel that great, and it can be a lot better. And I've had enough people say that these tunes make it a lot better. So let me find Q, and I'll get you guys back up, and we'll see what happens here. All right, guys. So I just I'm now getting back in the truck. Just see how she drives. The tuning took about 5 minutes. Excited to see how she handles. Oh, wow. A lot more throttle sensitivity right off the bat. I don't know if that was caught on the camera and it was justifiable in regards to how it really felt, but oh yeah. Wow. That feels so much better. Holy smokes. Wow. I was barely giving it any throttle. This is awesome. Let's see. Yeah. I'm not sure what the pedal commander feels like, but this is awesome because, I mean, this is legitimately how my truck drives. It's not being controlled by a switch that's tripping the computer. Like, this is awesome. This is so much better. Why can't Toyota make their trucks drive like this straight out of the gate when you buy them? I don't know. Oh my goodness. A 1,000 times better, guys. So when talking to Q about some of the things he sees with this, he said a lot of the guys that he has done this tune for, a lot of them previously had the KD Max tune, and a lot of people switch over to the Overland Torque Tune and they are so much happier with it. So basically, this is designed for the everyday driver. You know, this is going to give you that nice boost of energy in the truck that's going to make it kind of come to life. But it's not too much where you're like just tapping the pedal and you're about to like rear end somebody like in traffic. He also said with that ECT button, you engage that with this new tune and it puts it in a sport mode, like a true sport mode, and it'll give you a lot more torque. So let's try that actually. Oh yeah. Wow. Wow. That is awesome, guys. Yeah, do it. Do the Overland Torque Tune. You're going to love it. Holy smokes. If someone's gotten this tune and said they can't feel a difference, they're wrong, or they're lying, or they didn't get the right tune. This is awesome. Turn that off. That's wow. This is great. I'm like honestly like blown away right now at how good this tune makes this truck drive. And I mean, right now, you probably, when you were looking at my RPM gauge and you were seeing how quickly I was accelerating, or the kind of the feel I was getting from the truck, I was not smashing down on the gas. I was giving it normal gas, just kind of like you would any other car when you'd expect it to kind of pick up and go. This is just so cool. Oh, man, the truck just responds so much better now. Q. Thank you. Big shout out to Q, guys. Hey, guys, if you guys are here in the local Southern California area, he comes down about once a month down to like the Claremont, PB area and Oceanside. Hit him up. He's located up in Orange County. So if you guys are from LA or even a little bit more north than that, hit him up. I've seen him on the Tacoma forum. I think it's TK421 is his username. But I'm going to put a link in the description with his info. So hit him up if you guys are somewhat local in Southern California. Lock down a time with him to meet up and get this done to your truck. This is the best thing I've had probably done to my truck, honestly, because this just changed the experience entirely. I mean, it's like night and day. This is awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Get it done, guys. Get it done. Don't hesitate. Well, I'm going to continue driving here. I'm going to pull off soon and give you my final thoughts as I kind of make my way towards my casa. But, yeah, dude and gals and whoever's watching this channel right now or this video, do it. I'm super stoked. This is awesome. So much fun. So one thing I'm going to try, guys, is I'm going to go up this slight incline. And I think this will be a perfect hill for me to kind of test out this new tune on it. Because a lot of people, including myself, we had a lot of complaints about these hills here. Let's see how it does. Nice. Oh, way better. Way better. That's what I'm talking about. So effortless now. Whereas before, you felt like the truck was really having to work and just really hunting. This is great. This changes the entire experience of this truck, guys. Hands down. I've never had a pedal commander. I've never had the sprint booster. But after having this, I can't even imagine not doing the tune. It's just, it's the right way to do it, in my opinion. And I know there's gonna be a lot of you that have different opinions. And if you are on the fence about getting your truck tuned because you're scared of somebody messing up, you know, your computer and your transmission and just your truck as a whole, get it done by someone who's got a reputation like you. I mean, a lot of people in the area have used him. Oh, man, this is so much better. Find someone that knows what they're doing. In fact, I'm going to put another link in the description as well for you guys that, you know, it's supposed like a map that you can seek out people that are maybe in your area that tune and have that are legitimate, not just some guy that, you know, says he's done it a couple of times with his buddies. Like, you know, get it done by someone who knows what they're doing, that's licensed, that's been trained. And I hope this video, guys, is helping, you know, alleviate some of your concerns. And it's just such a night and day difference. It's unreal, in my opinion, at how much this is. What's crazy to me is how good this truck can drive. Like, the potential it has. And all it takes is for it to be tuned. So much better. So much better. Guys, words can't describe it, how awesome this truck drives now. Just the response. I mean, my foot's barely tapping the pedal right now. And we're cruising around 1,500 RPMs, 45 miles an hour. And let's do this here. Let me see if I can't get you guys something. Let's kind of do like a little bit of a takeoff here. Yeah, this is like, I mean, the truck in general just drives better. Like, I'm feeling less vibration everywhere. Let's see here. Let's give it a little gas. Like, that's a little gas. That's not me mashing down on the gas pedal. That's just a little gas right there. Like, wow. I'm trying to get you guys some decent examples here of how much better it drives now. I do have the TRD cold air intake, and I didn't feel anything before, and I think just with the tune, and maybe that, I mean, who knows? I don't think it's hurting. The truck, it just drives. It almost feels, I'm like, you know, I'm not even exaggerating. It almost feels like it's supercharged a little bit. Like, that's how much better it drives. Like, it's not even just like a little bit of a oomph. It feels like, to me, like it almost has a supercharger on it now. Like, it just, the response and the strength that I get from just the truck now, it's ridiculous. Like, night and day difference. I also used to notice that when I would brake, I'd kind of get almost like a little vibration in my brake pedal. And I don't know if that was just the transmission downshifting, and that's what I was feeling, but now it's like barely there. So that's another thing I've noticed that doesn't have to do with necessarily the way the truck is shifting when it comes like shifting up as I'm accelerating, but like the truck, like so much smoother now on the braking. It's almost as if, it's honestly, the best way I can describe it is like the truck is happy now. The truck is like happy. Everything about it, it's just so much smoother. All right, guys, so just got to the parking lot, wanted to pull over and give you my final thoughts on this tune. Guys, just do it. Like, this made the experience of owning a Tacoma like 1,000 times better. I mean, there's no word I can use or no example I can give you to describe how big of a difference the Overland Torque Tune made on my Tacoma. Like, this truck went from being a nice truck that I enjoyed but really didn't like the way it shifted and the quirks of the way that the ECU and everything just communicated as a whole with the engine and transmission, to now, like, I love driving this truck. And I'm gonna drive it, you know, obviously for a very, very long time, and I will do a follow-up if I start having issues or noticing something I don't like about it. But I can't go back. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, you cannot, like, there's no way somebody could get this tune done on their Tacoma and wanna go back stock. Like I just don't see how that could be something that anybody would have a desire to do, because it just drives that much better. Like, it's amazing, guys. Like, it literally exceeded my expectations to the point where, like, I'm like dumbfounded. And I kind of mentioned this in, you know, a few minutes ago. Why Toyota can't give us a truck that is tuned like this straight from the factory is mind-blowing to me, because this made this truck, to me, so much more desirable than it already was. Like, they created a truck with a great look, great capabilities. So many things about it are just amazing and awesome, which makes it the #1 mid-size selling truck, you know, in the country. And not just by, like, you know, a few thousand. Like, it just devastates all of its competitors. But man, if they were to deliver this truck and have it tuned and it drove the way my truck drives now, oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what the numbers would look like. So Toyota, you guys did yourselves a lot of injustice with this 3rd gen, because I'm gonna tell you, the way it drives now is so much better that it's like I said, it's almost undescribable. I hope my initial reactions as I pulled out of the parking lot with it helped give you guys, like, you know, a realistic feel of what I was feeling and how much better this truck drives. And just to kind of reiterate, I was not mashing down on the gas pedal. Like, I was driving my truck the way I was driving in the beginning, just normal driving, everyday driving. And now it just drives like I would have expected, and not even necessarily what I would have expected. Like, it's driving better than what I would have expected, but it drives more like what you would consider a V6 truck to drive like. And if I could go back and do this again, I would have done it the day I bought the truck, because it's just that much better now. It's just night and day. Now, here's what I will say. If you guys are on the fence about doing this, as I mentioned previously, find a legitimate tuner in your area that does this, because I can see why you'd have concerns. I was one of those individuals that had concerns. You know, the thought of somebody hooking up their laptop to your computer and changing the way it is talking to your transmission and your engine and your entire system as a whole. Like, if that thing goes, your whole truck goes. And guess what? That's not going to be covered under warranty if it's been done negligently. At least I would think it wouldn't be. So guys, get it done right. Have somebody like Q who does this either for a living or part-time, or is just, you know, essentially just licensed in you know, essentially authorized to give these tunes. And I don't see why you should be concerned. I mean, yes, there could always be something that could go wrong, but to have my truck drives the way it drives now, guys, it was worth every penny of it. And like I said, I just wish I would have had it done sooner, because that's just how awesome and how much better this truck feels now. Now, a few questions that I think, you know, one that I had, and maybe some of you have as well, about this tune is, you know, one, let's start at number one, the warranty. Will it avoid the warranty? So the answer is no, because this tune does not change the OEM stock ID in the ECU. So if Toyota hooked this up to their system, they're not going to detect the tune. But, and here's the but, there's always that potential or chance that your warranty could be voided if the way the truck was driving was linked to the issue you were having with the truck, which is the reason you were trying to use your warranty. So there's always that situation or unique circumstance that could cause a problem. But basically where I'm getting at with this is that if you took your truck into the dealership and they plugged it in, it's gonna keep showing the OEM stock ID tune. It's not gonna show like Overland Torque Tune or some crazy number, and Toyota's gonna come to you and be like, hey, what's going on with your truck's computer? It's undetectable. Secondly, for you guys that are interested about smog and emissions and getting your truck, you know, smogged, you know, every couple of years or whatever, you know, however your state does its thing. In California, it's like every other year. So according to Overland Torque Tune, they haven't had really any issues with anybody doing that in regards to like failing smog or not, you know, passing. But of course, they have to make the disclaimer that they can't promise that you may or may not, because, you know, liability reasons. But people seem to be doing just fine. They aren't having any problems, and things seem to be going good. So there's that. How long does it take to get this tune done? I think it took him about 5 minutes. Now, if you need to get the latest like TSB ECU update or whatever from Toyota, that takes about 10 minutes, I think they said, to install. But mine already had the latest and greatest, so it was just a matter of putting the Overland Torque Tune in, and that took, like I said, maybe 5 minutes tops. So that was pretty quick. What else? What else are some popular questions? And guys, anything I'm not covering, throw it in the comments section, because I will get the answers for you. For you guys that are currently using the pedal commander or the sprint booster, and you're like, hey, can I use that with this? No, get rid of it. Throw it away, sell it, whatever you want to do, but you're not going to need it. Don't use it. Just enjoy the tune. The truck drives phenomenally. And I've honestly, personally never used a pedal commander. I've never used the sprint booster. So I honestly don't know what that feels like. But I've seen a lot of people that have had the pedal commander and they've had the sprint booster, and then they switch to a tune and they just like the tune a whole lot more. And because at the end of the day, you know, and maybe some of you will disagree with me, the tune is a legitimate change in your computer, and it's changing the way your transmission and the truck talk, and it's a legitimate way to change the experience in the way your truck drives. Whereas the pedal command or the sprint booster is essentially kind of tricking the computer a little bit by engaging the gas pedal and kind of bypassing the natural link between the gas pedal and the computer, so that way when you touch the gas pedal, the pedal commander is kind of tricking the computer, saying, hey, he's pushing the pedal down harder than he really is, or he's giving it more gas than he's really giving it. So this, guys, is essentially, you know, this tune is legitimately the way the truck is talking, and it's just a much more cleaner, much more professional and legitimate way to increase the drivability and just the overall experience of your Tacoma. And some of you guys that are watching this for the first time, you might say, well, what does the tune really do? Like, what are some things I'm gonna notice about this tune right off the bat? And I'm gonna tell you guys, you're gonna notice everything different about the way your truck drives right off the bat. The throttle response, the way it holds gears, the way it shifts, the way, just everything about this truck, the way it drives, guys, from being flat to going up hills, freeway, acceleration. I mean, everything about it is just better. It's just so much better. Like, there's just no There is no like, oh, I kind of notice a difference, but I really don't. I mean, it's just, like I said, it just surpasses my expectations on so many levels that just get it done and you will see for yourself how much of a difference it makes. It's just unreal. So, okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys go with that. I think I covered just about everything. If there are any questions you guys have, let me know. One thing with Q that he did mention to me, and I don't know if this is for every tuner, I'd like to think it is. You know, if I don't like the tune, which definitely not the case, you can always go back to the tuner and they can either put it back stock or they can kind of tweak it a little bit. He kind of gave me like a light tune, so it's like good for everyday driving. This is perfect, but if you guys want it to be more aggressive, he can make it more aggressive. He just let me know that a lot of times for people that drive their Tacomas every day, you know, you may not want to be like, you know, having to just barely tap it and then slam on the brakes because your truck responds so aggressively that it can be really annoying in traffic, and you just obviously increase yourself of rear-ending somebody. So essentially when you pay for this tune, it's kind of like a membership. You know, they will adjust it for you. They will kind of help upkeep it for you if you need something done to it. But for me, guys, this is great. This is good. And if they change something and they say it's better, I'll be first in line, because I am a true believer now with the with this tune. It made all the difference. And for you guys that are wondering, I got my front windows tinted. If you guys can see the difference now, got to match the rear window, so that is completed, because a lot of you guys have been asking me about that and wondering if I was going to get it done, and I've just been meaning to do it. It's a really simple thing, but it's just, you know, one of those things I just hadn't gotten around to doing yet. So that's been done, which I think looks good. All right, guys, well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's channel. I hope you stay tuned for more. Like I said, I'm going to be pushing out a transmission video here pretty quickly. I think will be super helpful for all of you Tacoma owners that have dealt with issues or are dealing with issues with your transmission. And looking forward to the next one, guys. So any questions, once again, throw them in the comment section. If you've got experience or you guys have had the Overland Torque Tune done on your truck, let me know what you think about it. I'd be curious to know what your guys' feedback is, and maybe it'll help some other fellow taco owners that are on the fence and aren't sure what to do. All right, guys, until then, take care. I'll be talking to you soon. See ya.